everyone, welcome back to Quicks14Blog. Quicks14 here, coming back at you with some heroics. Very appropriate considering the new LFG system. Some of this is some old footage I've been sitting on for a while, so finally got some filler in that I was missing. So here, let's get to it. This is Drak'Throm Keep that we're doing heroic on. This is a pretty standard heroic. You're going to see yourself in here fairly often. I know at least the last few nights that I've done some heroics, I've found myself in here at least 2 or 3 times, which was nice because I was missing some footage, and you'll obviously see where that's at. So Drak'Throm Keep is pretty straightforward. The first boss, not so difficult. He's your basic tank and spank, really. He's nothing too special, nothing to worry about. Actually, the stuff getting up to him is probably more dangerous than he actually is. Trollgore is pretty simple. Just keep the tank on it, heal the tank, etc. The second boss is a little more different. You have a Lich here that you need to fight. He's going to cast a shield when the fight starts that pretty much makes him invincible, and he's going to send waves of undead mobs at you from 2 locations. You have from the back, from where he's at, and then of course you have in the front here. So usually what happens is the the 5-man group kind of splits. Couple of DPS head up to the top here to help deal with the ads coming down from the stairs. The tank and at least another DPS stay down there, and the healer's best spot is right on the edge of these stairs here, not quite at the very bottom, just a little bit up. It's going to give you the best place to heal both of these split groups, so you can keep them up and keep them active and keep them alive. He's going to continue calling wave after wave after wave. You'll notice his shield, if you watch it, will actually go down until it finally disappears. There will be no more waves, and you can finally basically tank and spank him. He does do curses and poisons, I believe, but definitely curses. So you're going to want to watch the curses quite a bit. If you can decurse them, whether you're a mage or a druid, please do so, because they're not very fun to deal with. He does cast Blizzard, obviously. You know, if he casts it on you, just move. It's the easiest way to do it. Most groups aren't going to have too hard time with him. Most of the boss fights here in heroic Drak'Throm Keep aren't too bad, regardless of your gear spec. So you shouldn't be too difficult for him. It's just getting used to the waves, and once you've got it, you will see it, and it'll make much more sense. So the next boss after the Lich is the footage I was missing because I just didn't get it recorded. Is of course King Dread here. King Dread is a huge double sword, basically. He's a difficult boss for a few reasons. In heroic, he's going to send ads. We actually had ads here because we went straight for him. But the first thing he's going to do is he's going to do a shout, which is going to demoralize you and makes you small, as you can see here, and it basically makes it where you do less damage, things of that nature. The biggest concern, especially for healers, is definitely his fearing howl or whatever that he does that causes the entire party to just run in fear, and it's really, really annoying. It can be very difficult for healers if they're not prepared for it, so it's very important that you keep HOTS and things of that nature on. The last boss is this wonderful boss here. He's very interesting, very different boss. He's not too difficult, but he does do this touch of death and touch of life thing, or this thing that pretty much converts you into an undead, to a skeleton. It's very important that people understand what their different abilities are when they are turned into the undead. Everybody has the same exact abilities. You lose all your standard abilities, whether you're a healer or not, and basically it's very important. You've got, at least, as you can see, there are 4 abilities. The first one is your general attack. It's melee range, so make sure you're fairly close, because even if you're a healer, you should be hitting him. The second has more to do with defense, something like that. It basically gives you a bone shield armor. Very good if the boss is aggroed you and is attacking you and you're not supposed to have it. Tanks in particular will find that useful. Actually, I'm sorry, that's the third one. The second one's the actual aggro taunt. That actually taunts the boss onto the person. The only person that needs to worry about that, obviously, is the tank. So unless you're the tank, don't worry about that second button. The third button is, again, for armor, so if he does aggro you, or if you are the tank, you'll find that very useful. The last is Touch of Life, and it's basically a heal that basically helps heal you. He's going to switch you back and forth through the entire entire thing of fighting him between the two things, between normal and that. So if you're a healer, and you're getting ready to switch, prepare to switch. If you know a switch is coming, if you have big wigs, things of that nature, prepare to switch. Hot ups, prepare to switch it. So we also have Halls of Lightning here for you, and another common 5-man heroic instance you'll be running. The first boss here, we actually beat him without the buff, and he's not too difficult as long as you have the DPS to do it. If he has the buff, you should be able to take him down okay. Not a huge deal. You get a nice achievement if you do that, though. We already had the achievement, so we didn't worry about it. This here is very important. It's not a boss, but a lot of people have issues with this, don't understand it. When you go through this area, the tank's going to run through, pick them all up. You need to do the same. Healers, keep pots on you, and the tank, wild growth, if you have it, or any heals of that nature. It's very important once he stops and starts attacking the bosses that you back off, because if you're in the middle of it, these things could blow up, will blow up, and they will kill you. Very important. So now we get to the second boss. It's this wonderful slag boss guy here. He does a few different things that you really don't see here because we take him down so fast. But he will go to the anvil, get a new weapon. He brings out adds. Not too difficult. Just handle the adds, keep him in place, tank him spot, and just DPS the crap out of him. You really can't ignore the adds. Sorry. Second thing I want to show you is this hall 2. It's a little confusing, and it can be really laggy for a lot of people. So if you have a lower end system video card, make sure your settings are as down as much as possible if you get into Halls of Lightning, because this hallway can cause a lot of people a lot of lag. What's going to happen here is you're going to go inside. Nothing's going to attack, but once you hit certain marks, as you see the tank there, certain things, about 2-3 mobs are going to come to life and attack you. They do have a single target fear that could cause trouble, so healers, be aware of that. It doesn't seem that it affects the tank much, if at all, so you shouldn't have that problem. You're going to encounter these guys 2 to 3 times through that entire hallway. Come to the third boss, and the third boss is pretty straightforward. He's a simple tank it's make, but he has a small twist. 2 things he does. One, he puts this overcharge on someone, as you can see there. If you get a static overload, if you're too far away, or I can't remember exactly how it works, but it's very confusing. The most important, not really confusing, but just, it's not a huge deal. You shouldn't have a problem with it if you got a good healer. The important thing is when he breaks apart. He will break apart every so often while you're attacking him, and when he does that, these sparks come out. It's important you get away from them. Don't try to avoid them. Don't try to go through them. Don't try to attack them. Just get away from them. Otherwise, they will hurt you and they will kill you. So now we come to the final boss, Hodir. Or not Hodir, sorry. We come to the final boss, Loken. Loken's not too difficult. You will notice here that everyone is up front and attacking him. Very important that you do that. Healers, don't do it. Healers, if you stand back about where I'm standing, around the stairs, a little further back is fine too. You don't have to be under him. You can heal them fine and just keep a hot on yourself if necessary. He does this range thing, but that's about it. So rate, comment, subscribe, more coming up.